Hello! So for this video, we're looking at prepping the bike for an event or a race. First of all, it's been on the turbo for most of the winter, so we need to get it off the turbo and replace the pin. Some people change the back wheel, some people change the tyre for the turbo. I've been quite lazy this year and I've just used those tyres because I'm just going to replace them anyway. That's the first point. Check the tyre pressures. To check the tyre pressures, I'm using a pump with a gauge on it. Don't guess. You can get some without gauges, much cheaper, but you need one with a gauge. Okay, so good thing that I checked, we're on 20 psi. So tomorrow I think I'm going to be running around 90 to 100. The roads around here aren't great, so it gives me a little bit of a cushion as well. Okay, so I put 100 in there because by the time I pull that out and overnight, you'd have lost a little bit of PSI. Okay, there we are. Tyre pressures, done. It's a slippers kind of day today. So next, checking the brakes. Just check that they're tight and responsive. Ideal, they've always been like that, I keep on top of it anyway. Nice. Next, check any bits on the bike you don't need. It's up to you if you want to carry a bag with extra tubes and a tube changer or whatever. And I've got also a pump by here, a mini pump. Depends how competitive you want to be really. Do you want to enjoy and just make sure you get back, or do you just want to really go all out and risk it? Up to you, whatever. Sort them out, take them off if you don't need to. I've also got a little mount here that I've been doing a couple of videos with a selfie stick on it. I'm going to take that off now. So next, make sure that your trip computer has got enough battery. There we are. Magical, full battery. Recently as well, I've noticed that this falls down a lot just because I didn't tighten it enough. Make sure that they're tight, because when you go over bumps, you tend to end up with the computer down over there. Got a million X keys. Why is everything different? Good. Okay, since we're on the trip computer, we need to make sure all the sensors work. So this is where we're going to jump on with slippers. Okay. Yep, movement detected. Picked up cadence, speed, and it's just looking for my heart sensor. Done. Okay, whilst I'm on the bike, I might as well check all the gear changes. So let's go down into number 1. Nice and crisp, nice and sweet. Just over halfway, let's get the big cog up. Yes, it's working today. I had trouble on the turbo a couple of days ago. Temperatures have changed, the metal expanded a little bit now, so it's good. Changes down. Right, I've got one top gear missing, so I may need to adjust that top gear to get that top speed. Okay, so quick little adjustment, because it's only that last sprocket it's not going on. So you've got this here, so all you've got to do is rotate it. Now, if you haven't seen my other videos, I show you how to adjust it in some of the other videos. Now, I think there's a little problem here. I don't know if I may need to pull the tension on the cable as well, because that's going the other way, I think. Okay, at last, a couple of times on the bike. So, I'd come to the end of that, but the tension was absolutely spot on, because everything is aligned, if you can see that now. And to explain exactly what I did, you've actually got a tiny little stopper there, and I literally turned it halfway. Right in there, you've got the actual body of the derailleur. That just stops the movement, basically. So if you move that back, you've got more of an outwards movement. So that is it. That's how fine the Ultegra set is. But lucky I spotted that, because I would have been just spinning out basically, and I wouldn't have been able to get that top speed. I'm not super fast anyway, but it's just one thing that's would have been super annoying if I'd have just left it on that one lower cog. Okay, so the pin will go in a minute. Bottle cages, do the bottle cages fit? Are they rattling? They're fine, great. You can oil the chain if you want to. I've been keeping on top of it over the winter anyway, but you can check things like that. This is a wet oil. I like the wet oil more than the dry oil, which is, you know, it's oil at the end of the day anyway. But the wet oil, it's wet in Wales a lot, so I just keep that, that's fine. And you don't put a lot on, just a little bit. Cleats. I know these are fine because I use them regularly. They're a bit wrecked actually. I need a new set of clip things. They are fine, they're tight, they're in the right position, and they clip in. So it's worth you checking, but I know they fit anyway. So done. And that's pretty much it. Welcome to my family garage, by the way. Okay, so just finish off. It's time to take this off here. So just unclip it from your turbo. So just loosen it as usual. Get both sides. Please don't fall. So simple. That's all you're going to do. Take the spring off, keep an eye on that spring, put it there, then put that back on. And what I usually do, I like to be sort of organised amongst all the mess, and I sort of keep things together. Otherwise, you'll be spending a good few minutes of your biking time, turbo time, finding the little bits and bobs. Okay, so spring off, that goes into there. And the other side, wheel straight. Then you can push that back or forwards, whichever way you prefer. It's such a small item, aerodynamics doesn't really come into it, especially at my level anyway. So that'll do. You could tuck it there to protect it, but that's fine. Let the air flow around it like that. I almost forgot helmet. Of course I would have grabbed it in the morning, but it's worth having a check over now. Let's put the bike over here. I mean, rarely I've worn it over the winter because it's all been turbo training, but you can just check that all the pads are alright and that it still fits. My head hasn't grown. There we are, great stuff. And obviously you won't be able to take part without one of these. And there we are, I'm going to register in the morning, an early start, but that's what the life is, isn't it? Great, have a good event.